Hello, woodchucks and farmers. Welcome back to Oceanside Forest. We got our field service trailer headed up to the combine because that ran out of fuel. But we are almost done with the harvest. Am I going to reach the 1.4 million harvest liters I wanted to this year? Well, I think technically originally I wanted 1.5, then we reduced it to 1.4. I don't think so. We're going to be short of that. Right now I'm hoping of 1.3 million liters of crop harvested this year. Fingers crossed, we are getting closer and closer to that. We got a few more passes to go into the combine. But while the combining's been going on, of course, I've been down over by the Harborside field. And, of course, cutting down trees here and there. And we're going to continue that on today as well because, well, we're going to need more farmland, of course. A lot more than I was originally hoping I would need. Let's spin around here and start fueling up the combine. Hopefully I can get this close enough without having to move the combine. This is where she ran out of fuel. I think, am I in the header? Am I in, yeah, there we go. We're free. We are good. Let's see, if I remember, I think it's, no, I didn't want to get back into the, what a way to start. Let's come over to here. And I think it's M to turn on the fuel pump. There we go. And hopefully this is in the range to start fueling on up. Okay, so this was out of fuel. I've restarted the game because that was a couple of days ago for me anyways. And there's fuel back into the combine. Interesting. So it's almost like if you run out of fuel or something and restart the game will put some fuel back in for you. Seems kind of odd, but that's the way it is. So that's how much more crop we have left to harvest, and let's go into here and we can see exactly where we currently are at for how many liters we've harvested, which is 1,237,000 liters. So I'm hoping for another 70,000 liters off this field. And that does already count the crop that's inside the combine itself. So, yeah, fingers crossed we can get up to 1.3 million liters. There's a good amount of crop here left to harvest, so it is very possible. Now, of course, you know, we got to feed the birds for another year, and we should be able to do that, even though we got 4 pens going, which means if they were full, we would need 1.4 million liters of crop. We had some crop left over from the previous year, and we don't actually have those 2 other pens completely full, so we should be fine for another year feeding the birds. But hopefully, throughout the winter time, because we got a long ways to go for that, I can clear out enough land to possibly get us up to 1.8 million liters at the end of next year. So I need another 400,000 liters. But if we are to look at things, this field last year was something like this. And that was 300 liters. And I expanded this much. That gave us 300,000 liters. So right now, this is what we've added so far after this harvest season. That's maybe about 150 liters. So I like need another 150,000 liters. So I hope to have this all cleared out. And I think we'll have to expand maybe a little bit more over here as well. In other words, just clear out as much as I possibly can, right? Why can't you... There you go. You're all good. They're back to work. Let's go ahead and turn off the fuel pump. That's all set. And let's see, before I go anywhere, let me go ahead and unload the combine. So I can get over to the tree harvester. The tree harvester is fine on fuel because over there, I'm just right next to the fuel refinery. So it's got to mosey on down, top off that way. But the tree harvester could use a good repair. I don't know if it really hurts the tree harvester being that low on repair status. Because all it really does is cut down trees, but we'll go ahead and repair it. Let's go ahead and unload the combine here. So fingers crossed within the next, this will probably take about 20 minutes or so to harvest, maybe not even that long. We will hit 1.3 million liters of crop. Oh, I need to bring this trailer on down and unload it, it looks like. So we'll go ahead and do that. The yield in this part would be pretty darn good if it wasn't for the bad soil that we have up here. So that's kind of hurting us a little bit. But as I mentioned before, not a whole lot I can do about it because it's not like I got open land where I can go test the soil. And if it's not good, just say forget it, we'll move somewhere else because I got to cut down trees just to get that far. Alright, that is empty enough, and we are just about full. I could take another 15,000 liters, but since the combine holds 24,000 liters, yeah, I need to go empty out the trailer. So, let's go ahead and do that. I am taking my little shortcut that we originally had way back when. So instead of actually taking the road, we're going to cut down through here and just take a little bit of a trip through the woods. Even though the road is just right there, I'm just trying to make things a little bit faster for myself. Most of the time I take the road. And the road we do need because, you know, to get the big butt up here along with our drill, we can't really kind of squeeze through this little section here, if you remember this little pathway that we made. Alright, let's go ahead and unload here, bring the trailer back up, and we should be good to go the rest of the way. I don't think I'll get another 120,000 liters. If I do, that's fabulous. But I don't think we'll get that much. So actually, how much sorghum do we have here? Now, I think sorghum is what we had left over from the previous year, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly what we got off that field. But I think before we started harvesting the hillside field, for the amount of liters that we harvested for the year was just like, I think it was like 710,000 liters. So we may get 600,000 liters off this field this year. But as we've seen, the amount of yield we're going to get off the field next season won't be as good because the percentage of crop rotation is going to go down a little bit. I remember after I opened up this last season, there was a couple people saying, oh, you got enough land open now, so don't worry about cutting down trees. Yep, not even close to being enough. Let's go ahead and just leave the winter wolf here because I don't know where the combine's going to get full. All right, let's jump back into the JCB and we'll head on down to the tree harvester and we'll get that repaired. Actually, I think I got some logs I got to pick up as well. But I did get a good amount of trees cut down since last episode, maybe about 100 or so. And of course, everything being brought over to the sawmill. The sawmill's been doing its thing since we built it. The McCormick is ready to go to start mulching up the field. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to expand the fields further up the power lines, but if it gets that close, maybe. Maybe. Whatever I can do to start reducing the amount of trees I got to cut. But this is how much we've opened up so far this season. And let's see, the fuel is on that side, so that means repair is going to be on the right side. Okay, that should be good right there. Jump on out. Let's activate this. Computer will turn on. And then we can, of course, we can repair for 3,074 for the tree cutter itself. And then 11,805 for the tree harvester itself. There we go. Now it's in perfect working condition. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Alright, I don't know. I think I got rid of the tree stumps. Did I at least do that when I finished last time I was here? Yeah, I don't see any tree stumps. Where the heck is my logging trailer? Oh, I see it now. I see it. I left it over here on this field right here. And of course, just as I get started, the combine does need to be unloaded. So let's jump back up to here. Yeah, I was doing a lot of this in between episodes. trying to cut down trees and take care of the combine at the same time. But I was kind of happy every time I saw that, because that just meant another 24,000 liters. Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of hard to get to 1.3, but who knows? Like I said, we'll find out here in about 15 minutes or so. Yeah, because of the soil, the yield potential in the field, this part of the field is 89%, but we got it up to 101%. Crop rotation, as I just mentioned, is going to drop each time we harvest it because, you know, this has never been a field before, so the rotation's at 115%. Next year will be 110, and then the year after that probably be down to 100. So that just means less yield as we move along. So basically losing 15% in a big chunk of field, that's quite a bit. All right, combine is completely empty again. Should have plenty of room to get back in line. And away it goes. All right, let's jump back into this Winter Wolf. Bring up the helper HUD. Let's see. Gotta put that to 1 stack of 20s. It is loading on the left side. Yeah, this is going to get kind of messy. Let's go ahead and turn on the autoloader. And try to grab these logs so I can get myself a nice pathway down here so I can grab the rest later on. I will say, though, clearing out this part of the map has been, do I want to say the most enjoyable? I think it's just because the sawmill is just right there. So loading up this trailer and having logs fall to either side or the logs exploding once in a while hasn't been too bad, because it's just like, you know what, we'll just leave it there. I'll pick up the mills just right around the corner. I still overload the logging trailer as it is. Let's get these logs into the mill, clear out more land. And before you know it, next episode will be us replanting wheat and barley into the fields. But if you remember last episode, we just had, I don't want to say a narrow path going up through here, but now we got that kind of like whole section right there cleared on out. No pieces of cheese that I have seen. But we are going to be merging these fields together. Let's get these logs, logs out of here so I don't have to keep going over them with a tree harvester. The autoloading logging trailer is great, but using as much as I have on this series here, sometimes I can't figure out why when it loads, it'll pick up a log and like throw it completely over the trailer itself. But if it wasn't for this logging trailer, this series would not be happening, because trying to pick up as many logs as I would, I mean, what am I at, 6,000 logs or trees cut down? And about 95% of those trees, every time I cut down one tree, of course I cut them into 2 sections. So we'll just say 12,000 logs I would have to pick up. would be here forever trying to pick up that many logs, for darn sure. Yeah, I'm hoping with that whole section I said I want to clear up by next season, that should get us around 1.6 million liters harvested. So I need to come up another, 200,000 liters somewhere. Which, when I start saying things like that, to me, it does not sound like a lot to clear out. Because when I just mentioned, we just need another 200,000 liters and that's it. But when you're starting off, when you need 1.8 million, it sounds like a lot. Which I was not expecting to need that much when I started the series. I didn't think, I mean, I should have done the math myself. I should have just said, okay, a chicken pen, let's fill it, give it a quick test and be like, okay, we need a lot of land cleared out here. I just thought, hey, we just need to feed some birds. Not that big of a deal. So this challenge has really turned into a challenge. I think that's all the logs that we got here. Good. Let's get these to the mill. And that's perfect timing. The combine needs unloading again. And I think at this point, maybe I'll just take over the combine instead of having a worker do it, because we got to be pretty much done up there as it is. Where's the trigger? There we go. Let's go ahead and turn this off here. Let's not waste fuel. Let's jump into this winter wolf here. Is that going to reach? It might be close enough. It's close enough. So I hope everyone has had a nice holiday. I'm actually recording this on Christmas Day itself. So it's probably going to be a short video because I have not had much time, as you can imagine. But work must go on. And plus, I really want to get started on expanding these fields a little bit more. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, as they would say. Let me just jump into the combine myself here. And probably 2 passes for sure. I don't think 2 passes will be wide enough. So probably going to need a third. The whole time, though, I have kept the time scale at ×1. So I'm going to say we started this harvest, let's just say around, maybe 8:30 in the morning, because we usually start at 8 o'clock. The time I got everything set up was probably a little bit sooner than that. So, like 2.5 hours to harvest this field. So overall, not too bad. I mean, if I really pushed it, I probably could have gone a little bit faster. Because I'm pretty sure there was a couple times when I was doing the tree harvesting while the workers were up here. I think I ignored the workers a little bit once in a while. So I was trying to clear out a certain section, like, oh, 3 more trees, I'll have another path done. And, of course, I'm not too worried about paying a worker just sitting in the combine for a few extra minutes. So this field here will be barley next month, but we got to get it mulched, and we also got to put down some lime. So I'll definitely have the workers going as I'm cutting down trees. And again, no, I cannot hire a worker to cut down trees. That's something that we cannot do. If there is a mod out there that allows us to do it, I certainly don't know about, and I have not heard anyone ever mention it before. So let's see, I think last time we checked, we were what, 70,000 liters short of getting to 1.3 million. We've unloaded the combine twice, so that's just about 50,000 liters. And currently we got 11,000. So if I get another 10,000 liters off this field, we should be overall at 1.3 million liters harvested this year. I think overall, though, the field that really disappointed me was the farmyard field with the barley. We just didn't get the yield off that field as I was expecting. The year before, we got like 750,000 liters of sorghum. And what did we get, like we were shy of 600,000 liters on barley. So rather disappointed in that. But then again, it's a different type of crop. So yeah, I know some crops do harvest better than others, but I don't know the percentages, of course. You can kind of tell by the best price that you can get for a crop. So a lot of people sometimes say, let's plant soybeans, could you get more for it? Yes, you do, but the problem is the yield on soybeans is a lot lower than wheat and barley. That's why wheat and barley you don't get a whole lot. That's why, like sugar beet and potato, you get very little for it because the yield off of those fields is extremely high. Looks like I'm going to fill up the combine again, which I was not expecting, but I'm all for that. And this combine has worked out rather well. And yes, I do know about the Colossus harvest pack. Those combines can hold quite a bit. I think it's the same mod kind of that I used in FS19. But I have no problem with this combine holding just, I don't want to say just 24,000 liters. That's quite a bit. All right, one more pass and we'll be done with harvest this season. So definitely gonna be working hard throughout the rest few months here on Oceanside Forest, is clear cutting a whole bunch more trees. So if I were to open up no more space and not harvest the new land that we opened up, next year's harvest may only yield like 1.2 million liters, maybe even a little bit less. So that's why we got to keep opening up more and more land. Alright, let's get this one more pass done. I think it's going to be just one more pass. Can I get this all in one go? Looks like I'm going to be able to. And then we get the McCormick up and going and start getting this ready, this field ready for next month to plant the barley. If I don't get the work done, then we can always get the drill in that field over there where it looks like it snowed over there. That field is ready to be planted in. That will be wheat that goes in that field. So what is our grand total going to be? It should be over 1.3 million liters, I do believe, if my math is correct. And that concludes our harvest season. So overall, I would say I'm a little disappointed in how much I got. Especially when I was shooting for 1.5 million liters. And we ended up getting 1,326,000. So 175,000 liters short of what I was expecting. That just means we got to work harder. Now let's get this all down into the silo. Clear out this field so we can get a worker going. While that's unloading, let's jump over to the McCormick. All right, that's all set to go. Just need to do, let's see, do this. Number of headlands. I think 3 will be good enough. I think that'll be enough for that to turn around. Generate course. That's probably going to take a second. Being a big field, but it's all set and ready to go. And we'll just have to keep an eye on it just for like the first 10 minutes or so, just to make sure it doesn't get hung up on a tree or anything. Let's go ahead and get the combine out of the way, because that's the first thing that it'll run across. So we'll get the header off. Let's see, got to fold the header. There we go. Header is folded. Oh, that's right. The JCB is not up here. That's originally when we brought up the trailer header on. The JCB. But I was using that for the field service trailer. And once Steve McCormick gets about halfway done with the field, I'll probably bring that Winter Wolf back up with the spreader on it and start putting down some lime. We did lime this field last year, so it's not going to take hardly much at all, but I want to start keeping our fields at 100% every year to max out what we can possibly get off of it. So that's why this year we are finally mulching, and we will, drill the fields, of course, but we will roll the fields after we plant them as well. Okay, we'll leave that off because I don't have a trailer to take care of that. Let's jump into the Winter Wolf and bring this on down to the silo, empty this out. Yeah, I may actually eventually come back up here and cut down. I may have to cut down those trees right there as well. Originally, I wanted to get the farmyard field. I wanted to get that all the way up to where the road goes up and around. But we'll see how much I can get done on the... It's going to be kind of weird calling that the harbor side field, harbor field, because it kind of extends way over to the power lines now. Now it is all in. Yeah, I should have plenty of food to get the birds by until next season. We had some left over from the year before, and as I mentioned, the third and fourth pen, they're not full yet, so we don't have to worry about, they're not going to need the whole 350,000 liters to keep the birds fed throughout the entire season because they're just not full. Park this right here. Alright, so McCormick is up doing its thing. Let's go ahead and grab the Versatile, and the only thing I want to do is I actually want to get these fields technically connected to one another. So currently we do have 71.6 hectares of fields that we are farming. So I think I need to get up to somewhere around 80 hectares of fields. I think that's what I could be looking at as for a goal to reach. Start paying attention more to that, and that'll give me a rough idea of if we're going to reach the 1.8 million liters. I think 80 hectares is exactly what I need to get up to. So that's going to be my goal by next season. But as I mentioned, once we do reach the 1.8 million liters of harvested crop, we got to do it for one more year after that. So even if I do reach 1.8 million liters next season, that won't be the end. We got to just do it for one more year. But the good thing for me is I won't be having to cut down many more trees. I don't see any logs in here. I think I got them all. So I would say it's, it's been going pretty good here. Meaning, in 5 years, how much land we have actually opened up. Cutting down over 6,000 trees. That's over 1,000 trees a season. Along with doing all the farming and all that. Not too bad. Let's just make one more pass here. This road is not really needed. We can actually see on the hillside field the work that's being done. And now these two fields are joined up, so now we can all just keep calling it the Harbor Field. Although, it's starting to get further and further away from the harbor. I mean, it's either the Harbor Field or the Power Line Fields. And I just prefer to go with the Harbor Field. So, of course, now as we look at it, we can kind of see how it looks. But eventually, I'm hoping the field will be extended all the way out to here. I want to clear cut this many trees by next planting season. This field here will be sorghum. And that planting won't happen until April, so I got some time. And as I mentioned before, down here where the birch trees are, the trees are further apart than the pine and spruce trees are, at least the way it seems, as it was up there on the hillside field. The trees are further apart, so not as many trees to cut down. But hopefully, throughout the winter, all these trees will be gone. And maybe I'll find another piece of cheese somewhere. Who knows? Alright, as I walk through here, that seems like a lot of trees I got to cut down. Oh wow, I can barely see the power lines over there. Oh, it's going to take me a moment to get there. But we'll see what we get done. Little by little, we are getting there. So 1.3 million, actually to be exact, what was it? 1,326,000 liters of grain harvested this season. So yeah, we need another 400,000 liters opened up. I think this may open up right here like 150,000 liters. So yeah, more to go. Another 250,000 liters I got to open up. Can I get that through? I don't know. I keep trying to guess how much we're going to get, and I'm just more off than I thought I would be. So I need to stop guessing. But I got to guesstimate somehow. I don't know. What do you guys think? But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Oceanside Forest. But until then, have a good one.